So your passion just was oozing through in the responses. And the fact that we sold this out in less than 24 hours is really, for our staff, incredibly inspiring. And that's really a byproduct of your passion for this great university. If you're coming here tonight thinking I'm going to give you all the answers, I'm sorry to tell you right now, you're going to be disappointed. Nothing could be further from the truth. Tonight, we're looking for you to give us feedback. And then we'll set up times where I'll give you all the answers. I'm going to frame it around 3 questions, and we'll talk for about 30 minutes. What do we do well? Tell us what we do well so we make sure we continue to do those things. What can we do better? We want to hear that because right now we're in the process of planning next season. And we need your feedback in terms of those game day experiences, how we sell our tickets, how you park, how we greet you, how we sell our concessions. Every element of your Boston College football experience, what can we improve on? What are the ways that we can engage not only you, but engage so many other people so that we're selling out this stadium and giving this football team the home field advantage they deserve. And then what we're going to do, because if we just have it as an open forum, not everyone in the room is going to have an opportunity to talk. So we're going to take some time after that, and each of the tables has someone from our staff that will be facilitating a discussion, getting your feedback that'll explore not only those 3 questions, but any question you want to engage in, any topic you want to talk about and give us feedback on.
Well, Dennis DeSchino, class of '86, welcome to Boston College.
Thank you.
You probably know better than us about game day experiences, having played at Michigan. On a night game, it'd be great to open the lots 4 hours before a game. On Thursday night games, we run into, at 5 o'clock, all the commuter traffic. And on Saturday nights, people are going out to dinner in the city, still a lot of traffic. We get in here by 4 for an 8 o'clock game, that'd be a huge help on game day. The upper deck should be enclosed to match the lower deck. All the real estate you gain underneath, it's places for club seats. This is a club room right here. It opens up to the upper deck. Scoreboards in the stadium, they're old and dated. I mean, Wake Forest has a beautiful replay board.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we should have one at either end of the stadium up top. That would really improve the game day atmosphere inside the stadium, which is going to help the coaches recruit.
So I've had season tickets, football since '76 and basketball since '78, but I think reaching out to those people, I heard you're going to try to get some of them back and find out what they think. That I've heard from a lot of people, especially the more local people who live in Norwood, West Roxbury, that have been coming here forever. So that's one point, and I think reaching out to them may get some of them back.
It's a great place. We need to sell that to the kids.
Yeah, engaging our student body, no question. And the students, that's what distinguishes college from professional sports. They make the atmosphere.
Thank you.
Very good observation.
We've heard a lot of things that could use improvement, and I agree with every single thing that's been said. I wanted to say one of the positive things is thank you for having this. This is the best thing that I think's happened in a long time. Somebody actually asked our opinion. And sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Catherine Dillon, 93 and 97, and my dad went here in 58, which a lot of us have family members here. That's the greatest thing about BC is we all have a family connection. The biggest fan in my family is my mom, who didn't go to BC. And we hear that over and over. My sister went there, so-and-so went there. We need to own it, and we need to bring our friends and family to support our school. So we have part of this problem.
Yep. Thank you very much. What are the things we should continue to do? Hand over here.
I moved in the Boston area since '77. All 3 kids graduated from here. And we love the place. And we love the colors, maroon and gold. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to say we do have a spring game. I'm glad we have one, but I'm not going to say it's the best thing we've ever done. And there's got to be a lot of ways to improve that whole experience. Not just so much for us, those faithful that show up every year, but for the players, and more importantly, for the recruits that come to campus and should be at campus for that particular event. You know, maybe we do have the band, maybe we do have the cheerleaders. I think the spring game, while we do have it, and it could be improved dramatically.
Thank you, Brad. Paul Connolly, class of '70. Thank you for doing this tonight.
Thanks, Paul.
There's two things I'd comment on. One, you probably get some different opinions on this going forward, but I think it's a good practice. And it's a much nicer atmosphere, especially for families, but not just for families, to not have alcohol in the general attendance. A very nice practice has been this thing at the end of the first quarter where we bring back a former player and give them recognition, and it goes back to people who played a long time ago as well as people who play recently. I think it's a great practice. And if anything, I would encourage, you can only recognize 6 or 7 individual players the way we do it now. There might be a way of bringing back a whole team or bringing back a whole offense or a whole defense for a given. Make them always part of the BC family.
Great suggestions. Thank you.
A couple of things that I think you do well. Fan Fest, I think, is good, that experience. It's a convenient place for folks that are denied tailgating opportunities over on the Brighton campus, so keep on doing that. Another good thing is the loyalty card that came out recently.
It's a wonderful university with tremendous traditions. Tom Coughlin started having the team stay for the Hail Alma Mater at the end of the game and salute the students with the helmet. He started that. We never did that before. We've got the Eagle Walk. We've got an eagle where the players are now touching the eagle as they run onto the field. We've got that tradition. I think those are wonderful things, and I think the more you can do to embellish the traditions and build off the traditions of the university, I think will be helpful to everybody.
We went to an event for hockey where it was a Christmas event, and everybody in the graduates of the last decade were invited, and they could come to the event over at the Cadogan Center, and then went over and we had some tickets for a hockey game. I thought that was really well attended.
One of the things you're doing well and we're doing well is scheduling, adding Ohio State. And I would encourage you to do more of that. And I'd encourage you to do more for all of our programs, including basketball. But you're off to a great start. Thanks for tonight. And I'd say that keep this dialogue open. Stay in touch with this group.
Absolutely.
You know, we can instead of selling 4-packs of tickets, we can encourage to get more people to come to your games, our games.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
You know, one other thing at football that my buddy Tim here wants me to point out is that the pulled pork sandwiches and the meatball subs, big thumbs up on those. Those are new as of a few years ago. Yeah, so we keep that up.
First of all, thank you so much for having this. This is a great idea, and I think it's much appreciated. Once you're in here, I think overall the facilities department does a pretty good job. People from attendance to ticket holders to people at concessions, etc. I think in general people are pleasant and have tried to make it a good game experience. But as I said, once we get in here, I think a lot of people in your departments here do a good job, and I think you really need to know that coming in.
Paul, thank you. And that's especially meaningful because a lot of that staff is in this room right now, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. We want to hear if there are things that ruin your experience. We want you leaving here saying that was the greatest football experience I have ever had.
You might hear in this town a lot of the media guys will say, oh, and they'll never sell because we got all the pro sports, but I've never bought that. You know a lot of big-time college football programs thrive in other big cities. So I think you get the product of big-time college football to sell. And it's a great family experience. We never are afraid of taking the kids here, which is great.
You asked in your opening remarks what things are going well. One thing that I think deserves laudable recognition is the work of Mr. O'Neill and his ticket office. It's a smooth, professional, the best customer service you could get at any level of any purchase of entertainment or tickets. And it creates and leads to the first point of entry from a business perspective.
U.S. News & World Report ranks Boston College 31st. 31st, that's unbelievable. Imagine the prestige of the degree that's in the top 31 schools in the country. And of those 31, only 14 compete at the very highest level of the NCAA. Our student athletes every day are competing against some of the brightest minds in the world, and every week competing against some of the greatest amateur athletes in the world. And of those 14 that compete at the highest level of the NCAA in the top 31 ranked schools in U.S. News & World Report, only one offers a Jesuit Catholic education. And oh, by the way, we're in this really cool city. And we're surrounded, to your point about pro athletes, we're surrounded by some of the greatest professional athletes in the world. I never met an 18-year-old that didn't want to be a part of that. This is a unique institution. Because I want everyone to have an opportunity to speak, the things that we haven't covered, if you want to emphasize things that have already been talked about, now is the time. You've got a dedicated staff person from Boston College Athletics who wants to hear your story. So please, let's take this time. I'll bounce around and kind of listen in, but let's take this time and then I'll wrap things up in a little bit. So go to it. Thank you. We've been doing a lot of research and studying a lot of the issues, but what we really needed tonight happened. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you spending an evening with us and sharing your perspectives and feedback and observations, because this thing is, as they say in the South, fixing to take off. We're going to get this thing going. There's enormous history and tradition here, and we're going to tap into that. There's a lot of work to do, but the trajectory is nothing but upward.